I am here to talk about my college stresses, and I just kind of had this idea to talk about it because I was going through a lot while I was when I was applying to college and also while I was getting accepted to college, and I feel like a lot of these things aren't really talked about, or I haven't heard other people talk about them, or I'm just stressed out and need to air this all out. So basically I'm just going to be going over kind of what I thought this process was going to be like, what this process turned out to be like, where I am now, and kind of just my college journey, so to speak, from applying to now. And it is currently March of 2020, so I've gotten, as of now, I've gotten all my acceptances back, or I've gotten my admissions decision back, so yeah. So first, I'm going to talk about my expectation of really just the whole process of college and higher education type process. So initially, middle school, elementary school, I was like, okay, you know what, I heard people talking about this community college thing and how you can save money, and I was like, okay, you know what, why do I need to spend more money than I need to? Like, everyone's gonna be taking the same classes. I'm not gonna be doing anything for my major the first 2 years, so why not just do it at community college? For the longest time, that was my plan. I was gonna go to community college, and honestly, right now, I still haven't rolled that out, but I'm definitely more toward going to a 4-year now, just because for me personally, that's what I think would be best for me. And then I kind of, as I got into high school, I kind of found out kind of the reputation of community colleges. Not to say that they're bad, but just I got this consensus or this like vibe that, oh, you're going to community college? Like, oh, that's cool. Like, there's always there's a stigma around community college, and
I just wanted to add that I feel this way because I've experienced the stigma, and I don't know if it's because of the family that I grew up in or just the environment that I was in during school, but that's just how I felt. Community college was perceived.
Stuff like that, and I don't know, it almost made me want to aim higher and be like, wait, everyone's saying like community college isn't that great, which I think it is, honestly. Like, you're saving money, you're getting good education, and you can transfer out like really easily. But I don't know, I just got this like push to do something better, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Honestly, I was influenced by a lot of just my environment and my friends, because I feel like I was put into a very not high stakes, but just high expectations type environment, where a lot of my friends, they're very like high reaching, they apply to a lot of colleges and they're doing all these extracurriculars, and I was like, oh, like, should I be doing that? And I did a lot of the things that I did in high school just so that I was, one, following the crowd, and two, I knew I had to get some kind of extracurriculars on there, and I did actually find some stuff I was passionate about, but I can think of a list of things that I did just because my friend said it was good for college apps, and that was really just the focus, was college apps and what's gonna look good and how am I gonna get into this college.
Now, I don't want this to come across as like I didn't want to do the things I did in high school, like the extracurriculars I took part in, or I didn't like what I was doing and I just did everything for college apps, which is totally not true, because I think I did a couple like things that I was passionate about already. I think I just felt more pressure by either my friends or just how my school was pushing college towards us, that I had to do these things a little bit more than maybe I wanted to.
Now, the thing for me was everyone was aiming towards this one school, and I honestly grew up like not wanting to go to like one certain college. Like, I never had a dream to go to UCLA or USC. I feel like I kind of stood out in that sense, where I didn't have this like strong driving force to get into this one school. And I even got stuck in this limbo of 4-year versus community college now, just a couple months ago during winter break when I was trying to do my scholarships. I actually filmed myself having a mental breakdown. So, do I want to go to mean, I'm going to college, but like, do I want to go to a 4-year like right now? Yes, I have my film Hollywood type dream, but I also have like this working for Disney marketing type dream, and I don't know like where I want to go and where I'm going to be happy, and obviously I'm not going to know until I try it. It's just a lot, because when you factor in you're paying a crap ton of money for college, just putting that amount of money into it just seems so daunting to me, because I don't even know if I'm going to like it. I'm just stuck in this limbo of, do I stay home and go to community college? Do I stay home and go to a private college, which I'm not even sure if I'm going to get into yet? Or do I leave my hometown and move out to a state college?
Okay, so I realized while I was filming this video, I didn't really like make my point about what I was trying to say about like community college versus 4-year. My expectation was totally like disrupted and flipped while I was actually going through the process, and it got me like really confused, and I really got to a point where I didn't know what I was doing, where I was going, and thus that was one of many mental breakdowns that I had.
And then I got on to my first acceptances, which just kind of started happening like this year. My first acceptance came in, and it was a 4-year public university. This was like the one that I was like really set on going. It was a 4-year, like I said. It's a bigger school. I was going to be able to move out if I went to this school. I would dorm. I would get that so-called college, like more traditional college experience. And what's really swaying me with this one is they have a really good business honors program, and I want to study marketing, so I was really like interested in this program. I also had a mental breakdown. That was kind of the same thing. Another thing, I really want to move out, and I do want to experience dorming. It's a really expensive way to claim your freedom. And I think I also just want present tense, the social aspect of college. I feel like I didn't really go to a traditionally social high school where like you had the football team and you had the basketball team, and like you went to their games on Friday nights and you like cheered them on even though you probably didn't know what was going on. My school was split into academies, and you had to pick engineering, medical sciences, or performing arts, and that was really what drove you, and it was a very career-oriented school. So I was just always surrounded by people that were like testing out the waters in high school of what they could potentially do as a career path. That also ties into kind of how I was influenced by my environment to take all these classes, or feel pressured to apply to these bigger colleges because my friends were, or because, I don't know, it seemed like whatever I was groomed to do in high school, like that's what they were preparing me for, is to apply to all these big 4 years and go. So my next acceptance, which is the other school that I'm like really considering, is a private school, but it's really close to my house, so I would be living at home while going to a 4-year university. That's just my other option that I'm considering. Basically, we're at my dilemma right now, which is, do I want to move out or do I want to stay home? And obviously there's pros and cons to both. Probably the biggest one being saving money, which is a big factor in my decision, I think. It wasn't at first. Like, I didn't go into this thinking like I was going to choose the most affordable college. As I've learned more about student loan debt and just that whole process, it's made me kind of want to stray away from the more expensive schools.
I'm gonna make a quick disclaimer real quick. I don't want this video to come off as like ungrateful or just like complaining that I have to choose between these two great schools. I'm very grateful to be put into the situation where I have the option to be choosing from these two schools, and even the option to be going to college, because I know for a lot of people that it's not feasible. But yeah, again, I'm so grateful, and I feel so lucky to have been put into this situation. I just kind of wanted to explain my experience a little bit, so yeah.
And the way that it's looking right now, staying home might be the better option and going to the 4-year private. And I honestly don't know if that's what I truly want. Socially, I would love to live at the 4-year public and be able to experience a new place. But at the same time, it's like, okay, so you either choose like an expensive way out to experience new things, or maybe like a little more low-key college experience, which I think are equally good because I'm going to college. But I don't know, it's just hard when you think about what society thinks of the college experience, if you know what I mean. What I really got down to in my situation was, why is it such a big deal that I want the more traditional college experience? I don't know if it's because I didn't have sports in high school, or if I didn't have just the more traditional high school experience, which I dealt with a lot, just like comparing myself to my friends who were going to the more traditional high school. And why does it have to be so expensive? Obviously that's not something I can answer or I can look up, because it's just something over time. Like college tuition has just gone up, it's just what it is. And even though it shouldn't be like that, and people shouldn't be just accepting that they're going to go into debt right after college, it's just kind of what I have to deal with. But also, like, the college experience is just so interesting in the way that people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to have this kind of like not so good life where you're dealing with moving to, well, obviously there's perks. You're rooming with one other person. The facilities sometimes are not that great. You have communal bathrooms, college stress, which I heard is kind of a lot. I don't know, it just seems like, and I understand that you get a lot of experience out of this, and as well as education, but it's just mind-baffling to me how expensive that is nowadays. I think what I wanted this to be was just like a mental exploration of what my college experience has been like so far, without actually even being in college, and just touch on the fact, like, as of right now, this is the biggest financial decision I will have to make in my life, and I'm doing it when I'm 18 years old. I'm barely an adult. But yeah, that's kind of my rant, and it was really just to show real high school, senior, college fears. I feel like not a lot of people talk about this, especially in my grade. I feel like we all just kind of put our heads down, suck it up, and laugh it off. When I mean, like, this is stressful. This is like real things that are happening, and it's a big decision. And I feel like everyone's kind of just pushing it off to the side. Like, we're all going through it at the same time, but I feel like no one's talking about it, and then in turn made me feel like I couldn't talk to anybody or nobody else was going through it. Yeah, I just wanted to make something that honestly could help someone or just normalize it a little bit more. This specific type of college stress, I should say, because college stress is a whole other thing, are real. And one more thing to add, if you have felt any of this, or you kind of borderline felt this and wasn't sure if this was like a real problem, so to speak, just because I feel like sometimes choosing where to go to college is kind of overlooked as like a non-stressful thing. I mean, it is, like, you're committing a lot of money and a lot of your time to deciding what you want to do with the next 4 years of your life. But I encourage you to reach out to either one of your friends, because they're probably going through it as well, or even just talking about it with, again, your school counselor or your parents. I personally have found that both are very helpful in like just my mental processing and stuff like that. But yeah, I just hope this puts someone's mind at ease, and I hope that this has helped you in some way, shape, or form. You are not alone in this process, and yeah.